Welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Tammy Dean. Your Government in Action is a program produced to inform the Bahamian public of the work being done by the government and its agencies on a national level to promote a progressive and prosperous Bahamas. With discussions on climate change topping the list of the Bahamas' interests, the Prime Minister and his delegation, which includes Foreign Affairs and Public Service Minister the Honorable Fred Mitchell, Minister for Grand Bahama the Honorable Ginger Moxey, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation John Pinder, and CARICOM Ambassador Her Excellency Leslie Bryce, said participation in the regional conference illustrates the Bahamas' commitment to stand shoulder to shoulder with the Caribbean community on matters confronting the region. A number of other matters of great importance to CARICOM, including the COVID-19 pandemic, food security, and the current situation in Haiti, which includes political instability and gang violence, were also discussed. Building resilience to climate shocks and promoting sustainable resource management is one of the Davis administration's main priorities, and officials say the need for partnerships, particularly on a global level, is now greater than ever. As countries throughout the region begin prioritizing initiatives to combat climate change, the Bahamian government recently co-sponsored an event which brought together some of the world's brightest young minds. Joining with the University of the Bahamas, the Office of the Prime Minister recently hosted the One Young World Caucus on Climate Change, aptly titled Climate Action Roadmap to Climate Recovery in the Caribbean.
One Young World is a global forum for young leaders that identifies, promotes, and connects the world's most impactful young leaders to create a better world for more responsible, more effective leadership. The caucus is aimed to facilitate an atmosphere of collaboration surrounding climate change mitigation with international stakeholders by bringing together One Young World ambassadors and Bahamian climate leaders to connect, collaborate, and share key strategies that can be implemented in the Bahamas and the Caribbean to diminish the effects of climate change. The government of the Bahamas recognized the importance of strengthening and deepening international partnerships in fighting climate change and seeking support from international bodies for climate justice.
So Kate and I created One Young World back in 2009, and the reason we did it is we believe that the senior leaders were not doing a great job. You could argue, as you look around the world today, with inaction on climate, with the issues that are going on in Ukraine, with the fact that we've just seen a record month of deforestation in the Amazon, you could argue that they're still not doing a good job. But what Kate and I believed is that there was a brilliant generation of young leaders emerging. And it was unique because it was the first time in human history that young leaders were actually more capable of driving change than senior leaders. Why was that? Digital technology had given them amazing education and access to knowledge. It had helped them understand the problems and the challenges facing the world, and so it was the most responsible generation of young leaders in history, as well as being the best educated. And finally, and I think most importantly, it was the generation that not only understood, but had created the digital tools, the social media, to drive change. So they knew better than anyone how to use the power of digital technology to drive change in the world. And we thought that if we could just give them a bigger platform, that hopefully it could help drive more change in the world. Since 2009, we now have 13,500 One Young World ambassadors. That's people who've attended the summit. To put that in context, when we talk about young leaders, we had 2 Nobel Peace Prize nominees the year before last, Time 100 members, so they're people doing incredible things in the world. We've impacted the lives of 30 million people globally, and we audit our impact and our social impact, and for every dollar spent in 2020 on One Young World, there was $16 of social impact. We have a particularly special relationship with the community in the Caribbean, and this region is incredibly important to us. We have 3 One Young World ambassadors in the room today, so I salute you and thank you. It's the first time we've ever been hosted by the government of a Caribbean nation, so thank you to the Prime Minister for that. And I also want to call out the Prime Minister for his exceptional speech at COP. It was, for me, the most powerful speech we heard at COP, just very simply and powerfully nailing the fact that we're out of time and it's time to act. So thank you for that, Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Philip Davis was the keynote speaker for the event, which was held Thursday, February 17th, 2022.
When I addressed the One Young World ambassadors back in October last year, just before COP26 in Glasgow, I focused on the environmental and economic damage being inflicted by the adverse effects of climate change on the world at large and on the Bahamas in particular. In my own contribution, I emphatically made the point about the particular vulnerabilities of low-lying, small island developing states such as ours. And I made sure that it wasn't just what I believe younger generations refer to as a pity party. I urge my colleagues to act and to act now, to help us to help ourselves with the financial support and technology transfers which would enable us to rebuild our country to be resilient against the onslaught of climate change. I hear the frustration of many young people about the lack of action. I hear your fears and anxieties about your future and the kind of world you will inherit. I understand that amidst the existential threat and the advent of COVID-19 pandemic, greater sacrifices are being demanded from you. I urge you not to despair. Even though the world seems to remain stubbornly addicted to a way of life that produces carbon emissions, there are signs that the largest polluting countries and the highest polluting industries are hearing the message. Here in the Bahamas, we are making our own efforts. Yesterday, I was proud to tell Parliament about this dialogue today. It was in the context of my reporting on the achievements of COP26 by the Bahamas and the actions taken by my government since. In my communication, I devoted an entire section to youth empowerment and capacity building. Let me briefly set out some of the key announcements which I made. I advise my fellow parliamentarians that this engagement today is the first of several initiatives by my administration to connect, collaborate, and strategize with young people on matters relating to climate change.
Prime Minister Davis also announced that his government is committed to ensuring that youth representation is included in the Bahamas' delegation for the 27th session of the Conference of Parties, or COP27, to be held in Egypt in November of this year. Stay with us. We'll be back with more Your Government in Action in just a moment. Welcome back. The Davis administration has made a pledge to the Bahamian people to work smart and to move the country forward. The continued partnership between the Bahamas and the neighboring United States only helps to strengthen this resolve. Airline passengers traveling from Lynden Pinling International Airport to the U.S. can now enjoy an expedited process with the establishment of TSA PreCheck at the country's main gateway. A ribbon-cutting ceremony to mark the occasion was held Thursday, February 24th, 2022 at LPIA. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, brought remarks on behalf of the government.
This is a big deal for both of our countries and our friendship and partnership. This is the first time, and it bears repeating, that is happening anywhere outside of the USA. And we can boast now of not only sun, sand, sea, the warmth of our people and pre-clearance, we also have TSA PreCheck. Some 90 days ago, the Department of Homeland Security, through its agency, the Transport Security Administration, TSA, in collaboration with the government of the Bahamas, initiated this pilot program, as we heard before. TSA PreCheck is established through the 2013 Memorandum of Cooperation between the government of the USA and the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas on matters relative to civil aviation security. The TSA PreCheck is touted as a trusted travelers program that allows members of select frequent flyer programs, members of the Global Entry, Nexus, Sentry, U.S. military, and cadets to receive accelerated and more seamless security screening for domestic and international flights. This considerable milestone speaks positively to the benefits of our two countries working together to reinforce and prioritize matters of mutual global aviation security, safety, and traveler efficiencies, and other mutual benefits. We recognize that both our countries enjoy a long-standing relationship and reciprocity that sees mutual commercial, national security, and economic benefits. Due to our long-standing friendship, but also our proximity, and the fact that we share a natural border.
Also on hand for the ceremony were U.S. Embassy Chargé d'Affaires Usha Pitts, TSA Regional Director Karen Hanlon, and President and CEO of the Nassau Airport Development Company, Vernice Joaquin.
I am honored and I am pleased to be with you today as we announce and celebrate this important milestone together. The first TSA PreCheck lane outside of the United States of America, right here in Nassau, the Bahamas. What an accomplishment to all of you. This groundbreaking accomplishment is the culmination of years of close collaboration between the United States and the Bahamian government and our industry partners. It has been guided by a common and abiding interest in strengthening aviation security around the world.
This initiative is another element that ensures LPIA's continued place among the best airports in the region, and it will have significant impact on airport operations for all passengers, whether they are eligible for PreCheck or not. Because the reduced screening time for eligible passengers will allow all U.S.-bound passengers to benefit from faster screening. As the country's tourism rebound accelerates, we continue to evaluate in consultation with our partners the airport's current operational plans and processes to identify areas for improvement. This PreCheck program is a signature accomplishment that clearly supports our overarching objective of providing travelers through LPIA with the very best traveling experience possible. We're very grateful for it. Thank you so much.
The Bahamas Department of Correctional Services is also benefiting from the partnership and friendship long enjoyed between the Bahamas and the United States. A formal handover and commissioning ceremony of advanced imaging and scanning technology and radio equipment at an estimated cost of $300,000 donated to the prison at Fox Hill was held Monday, February 28th. The donation, a part of a long-term collaboration between the U.S. Embassy's Office of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement and the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services, consists first of the Leidos SafeView Advanced Imaging System, valued at over $220,000, which can detect a range of objects that regular metal detectors cannot. In less than 1.5 seconds, the system scans and detects both metallic and non-metallic items, such as explosive sheets, powders, bulk explosives, metals, liquids, gels, ceramic, and plastic. The SafeView also guards against the theft of assets, confidential information, and valuables. Next is the Astrophysics XIS 6040 inspection system, valued at over $26,000. This is a high-performance system for scanning backpacks, purses, and parcels. With a powerful 160 kV generator, the X-ray inspection system provides crisp, high-resolution images that can reveal weapons, contraband, cell phones, and other concealed items. The final component of this generous donation are the radio equipment, which allows corrections officers to communicate with one another throughout the compound, improving coordination and safety. The equipment includes 11 Motorola APX radios, chargers, batteries, 2 antennas, and other equipment. Both U.S. Chargé d'Affaires Usha Pitts and National Security Minister Wayne Monroe highlighted the significance of the donation and relationship between the neighboring countries.
This donation today reminds us that the United States and the Bahamas, we are united by our shared values and our common purpose, our beliefs in democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. This donation today, of course, speaks to that final principle, the rule of law. And more operationally, this equipment will support the ministry's ongoing efforts to modernize the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services and support Minister Monroe's vision for this facility as a rehabilitative institution that respects the human rights of its prisoners, operates in an efficient and transparent manner.
When I was appointed to this position by the Most Honorable Prime Minister, he gave as a part of the justification that I was a human rights lawyer and a fierce advocate. The equipment generously donated by the U.S. Embassy has the ability to enhance the human rights of all involved. It frees up correctional officers from intrusive searches, which could produce indignity, and it secures the safety of this compound. When we are assisted in matters where the Americans get a collateral interest, you may say they're acting out of their own self-interest. This little building, this little prison here, does not affect the self-interest of the United States at all. And so I think we need to appreciate that we get assistance not only on matters of mutual concern, but matters where they are simply helping us because they are our friends. And this world today, with all that is happening, I think we all know that friendships are good to have and good to keep.
The Bahamas Department of Correctional Services has also benefited from the Bahamas-U.S. relations through training initiatives for its staff in the past, an effort that is expected to be reinstituted soon. Minister Monroe also used the opportunity to announce further improvements at the prison facility.
The vision of this New Day government is to move this facility to a modern correctional facility, and so we're grateful for the improved training that correctional officers will be afforded through the cooperation of our friends. And we're also planning to very shortly see on these compounds a purpose-built high-medium security prison. It is time in the Bahamas that we move from the 1950s to the 21st century, and it's our objective in short order to do just that. It is appropriate that we stop turning keys and turn our attention to turning around men and women.
More on what the Davis administration is up to when Your Government in Action returns. Empowering the nation's youth is high on the agenda of the New Day government. Opportunities for young Bahamians to succeed, irrespective of who you know, are found throughout the administration's forward plans for the country. One such opportunity aims to give them a fresh start. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Bolag, recently met with new participants of the government's Fresh Start program. He congratulated them on taking what he called a bold step towards success and told them their success in this life is all up to them.
I know sometimes the road gets rough and you have things to do. Some of you have your young siblings you have to take care of, and you have to get on the job market and try to take care of yourself and your siblings. I've been there, done that, seen it happen. But the road to success is not easy. It's a hard hill to climb. And I'm a testimony of that. But if you believe, half of believing is success. Once you believe in what you want to do, you automatically gain that success. So I encourage you to continue on fighting to succeed in what you want to be. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. You are not too late where you are in life. You can be standing before an audience just like me someday. It's up to you.
The Fresh Start program was started in 1994 and gives participants between the ages of 16 and 25 skills to make them employable and productive citizens. After a 2-year hiatus, some 40 new participants are taking on the 16-week-long program that aims to enhance their personal development and job readiness, training them in various skill sets, including culinary and baking, beauty trades, office procedures and web design, and mixology courses. Training in Bahama host and food handling is also a part of the program. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture is providing $2,500 for each participant to assist with their training. The Bahamas has received another donation of personal protective equipment from the People's Republic of China to aid in the continued fight against COVID-19. The donation, 23,095 masks and 6 portable ventilators, were received by Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Chester Cooper during a handover ceremony held Wednesday, February 16th, and is earmarked for distribution to Grand Bahama and the remaining family islands. This marks the 7th donation of PPE and other medical supplies to the Bahamas by China since the pandemic began. The Deputy Prime Minister underscored the importance of the near 25-year-old diplomatic relations established between the Bahamas and China.
As a friend of the Bahamas, China is well placed to offer assistance to our country in those areas of our economy that are actively under development. Major projects of cooperation, such as the Thomas Robinson Stadium, the Airport Expressway, Bahama, and the Point, stand as symbols of how much we can achieve by working together. In this same spirit of solidarity, China delivered swift aid, both in cash and kind, to the Bahamas following Hurricane Dorian in 2019 and during the pandemic. Globally, we face a common enemy, the coronavirus pandemic, which emerged in early 2020 in the Bahamas. As a loyal ally and friend, China has supplied the Bahamas with the resources to combat the spread of COVID-19, having provided us since 2020 with 7 batches of medical supplies, including masks, PPEs, ventilators, oxygen machines, patient monitors, and dialysis machines. This particular donation of PPEs comes at a time when the government of the Bahamas is redoubling its efforts to strengthen COVID-19 protocols, to ensure the safety of all within our shores, to mitigate the impact of this unrelenting pandemic. As we continue to press forward with our anti-pandemic efforts, we deeply appreciate that we can count on the support and cooperation of our loyal friend that we have formed, and our friendship in the People's Republic of China.
Also present for the handover ceremony was Chinese Ambassador to the Bahamas, Her Excellency Dai Xingli, and other Bahamian dignitaries.
Today, I'm glad to transfer to the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister a fresh supply of 23,095 masks and 6 portable ventilators. Modest as these supplies are, they are offered in sincere friendship and serve to underscore China's commitment to be a friend in need and a reliable partner for the Bahamas. I do hope they can play a role in the fight against the COVID in Grand Bahama and some of the family islands. China will continue to maintain communication with the Bahamas government and help with its fight against COVID to the best of our ability in light of the needs of the Bahamian people. We are glad to observe decreasing cases in recent weeks and a growing momentum of recovery of tourism and the economy in general in your country. The light at the end of the tunnel is getting brighter. We wish the Bahamas all the best in resuming economic growth and normal life for its people. This is the year of the tiger in the Chinese traditional calendar. Tiger is long associated with power, bravery, and ambition. It is a fitting symbol for the strength of China-Bahamas relations, especially when we are about to celebrate the 25th anniversary of our relations in May and across the year.
That's it for this week of Your Government in Action. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tammy Dean. See you again next week.